Hello again, everybody. This is Ed with another episode of Call Me Mr. Broadstreet. Well, as you can see from this video, obviously I've recovered from last night, from the Super Mega Fest, and meeting Pete Best. You'll have seen in the pictures. I got his autograph, which was amazing. So again, this is just a little bit more of a clearer recap of everything that happened, things that I saw. Funny enough, I didn't even have any alcohol to drink. But you know what? Standing on your feet all day, that will happen with conventions. I know from Rhode Island Comic Con, from New York Comic Con, from my past con experiences. Super Mega Fest, it was held in Westfield, Mass. Today as I'm taping it, it's probably going to close pretty soon. By the time, obviously, this airs, it will probably be closed for the Sunday, October 2nd. So my main objective was, of course, to meet Pete Best. That was the reason I went. It's his only U.S. appearance of 2022. It's within my same state of Massachusetts. There's no way I could not go, right? There was absolutely no way I could not make that journey, especially within 45 minutes. How often is he going to be within the same state as I am? And as I said in my last video, how often is he going to be making these appearances? It's kind of just a fact of life. You know, we all get older, things happen. But he looked in great health. You know, as I said before, it was just really cool to see him kind of, you know, literally and figuratively embracing the fans. He was very kind. Again, I told him, you know, just thank you for everything you did. Thank you for being part of this amazing story. And kind of turned and said, you know, thanks, you're welcome. You know, he's a very reserved fellow. He's not a very, he's not as outgoing as the other four members of the Beatles were, or are, in, you know, in the fact of Ringo and Paul are still with us. But it was just very nice. It was really great to meet him. It was amazing. You know, again, I was happy to get his autograph, really happy to have it personalized too. They asked me, well, do you want to have it signed, or, you know, do you want to have it personalized? I'm not going to be selling this on eBay. I mean, if I wanted to get another autograph, yeah, you know, I could probably buy another autograph elsewhere with just itself, but how often am I going to get a member of the Beatles to personalize something to me? It was really fun. Again, as I kind of joked afterwards after he left, yes, I did have part of the Pete Best donut. One of his handlers, I believe his manager, gentleman with the FDNY hat, I'm sorry if I'm forgetting her name right now, came over, offered us some donuts, and I was joking as I grabbed a jelly donut, hey, I could sell this as a Pete Best donut on eBay. But no, I was hungry. I ate the jelly donut. Like I said, I was just hungry. It was a long day and everything. So, you know, just a big shout out to, of course, you know, again, Pete Best himself. An honor to meet you if you ever happen to watch this video. I know Rogue Best was there. Pete's brother came later on. Chachi LaPorette from Breakfast with the Beatles made an appearance. I didn't get to talk to Rogue or Chachi. Big major shout outs to Joe Mayo, aka Mean Mr. Mayo. Check out his channel, very entertaining. And Robert S., look, he's Rob Secure Music is his channel. I'm going to be linking to everything below as well. You know, again, just fantastic people. I had a blast. Guys, I could have stayed out longer, but I know you guys had a long trip. The Chili's was great. In my view, hey, it was great. It was the camaraderie. You know, sorry, Joe, I know the burger didn't come out perfectly. I get it. I understand, you know, but I think it all worked out in the end. And like I said, as you said, you know, we don't get enough times to hang out with people in that way and to really enjoy each other's company. Those are too far and few in this lifetime. I totally agree. I can't wait to see you guys in spring for Fest for Beatles fans in April or March or whenever it is. I'm going to start checking into it now. I had a blast. You know, we were just having some great conversation, great food, great friends. Like I said, I mean it, guys. 2 new friends. And that's the beauty of it. You know, it goes beyond the YouTube community. It's not just us behind the screens. You know, it's us as very real people. And when I saw Joe, I was just kind of had one of those Beatle fan moments, just kind of stopped in my tracks, go, hey, me, Mr. Mayo. He goes, yeah, do I know you? I'm like, call me Mr. Broadstreet, Ed. Oh, yeah. And then Rob was next to him. Robert and I were talking, and Joe and I were talking as well. So really just amazing to meet you. Ken Michaels and Joanne, lovely meeting you both. Ken, of course, with the Talk More Talk folks. Ken, please feel free to look around the channel, or hey, give some tips if you want. I'm totally open to suggestions. I know you've been in the game for quite a while. And Joanne, just very lovely to talk to you, very nice to speak with you, and, to kind of just, talk about things. And, I think your story about being in Liverpool and kind of lost as part of a group, but Pete and Rogue Best kind of taking care of you and making sure that you got to your destination later on when you kind of got separated from the group. I hope to make a trip to Liverpool one day. I've been to London. I've been to Abbey Road. I have yet to make it to Liverpool. I hope I do at some point. I really, really do. A couple other shout-outs again for Ed Bedrick. Ed, you are the dealer of celebrity signed photos and collectibles out of Rhode Island. Thank you for the Karen Fukuhara picture. It's a nice picture. I got to meet her in person at Rhode Island Comic Con, of course, but you know what? The picture caught my eye, so what can I say? But it's a very nice picture, to say the least. So it's caught my attention. Also got to meet, Michael Beck. He played Swan in The Warriors. The Warriors is a good film, really great film, actually. I didn't get to go for autographs for any of them, really, just because, that wasn't my main objective. But of course, Shanks, if you're out there listening, I know you are. I got him to inscribe Andrew to come out to play. I know that's not Swan's line, as you said, but I'm going to get that autograph to you. As I said, I'm going to get that to you either by mail or next time we meet in person. But it's in safekeeping. It's in the plastic protective pages, as you taught me. Of course, my next shout out is to Charles Rosenay. Charles, it was great to meet you. I would love to have you on the channel. As I said, he does the Magical History Tour, Liverpool and London, since 1983. I'm going to link to his site below as well. Charles, yeah, I'd love to discuss your book. I know I got the Silver Beatles CD that you were offering. Really good to have that. Even though I've got the material already, it's good to have it kind of in one collection. I got his book, the Book of Top 10 Horror Lists. That has entries from Angie McCartney and Pete Best, so that's kind of the Beatles connection as to why I got it. But it's different celebrities kind of listing their favorite horror films, so definitely going to be a cool read. I would love to talk about it, especially further, on the channel at a future date. I'll try to reach out to you midweek. I know that's probably the most convenient for you. You're probably very busy during the weekend and beginning of the week. So, maybe Wednesday or Thursday of this week, something along those lines. Also, a shout out to cosplayer and author Dream Within a Scream by Shannon Michelle Collins. She is the Sea Raven final girl. She does a lot of cosplay and stuff like that. I think it's Thelma from Scooby-Doo. That's why I got her book. It was good to kind of share the story with you. You have that Let It Be tattoo on your arm. That's really cool. If you look at the channel, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy the content since you enjoy the Beatles as well. Keep dreaming, I'll keep you screaming. That's a cool little inscription. I like the book of poetry, reading through that. Maybe I could have you as a guest as well in the future. Love to discuss Beatles, stuff like that. Again, I'll be linking to your site as well. Of course, I have to shout out to Matt Chong. Matt is with Lair Geek. It's Lair of Geek at Instagram. Again, I'm going to be linking to all of these. I got that Married with Children Funko Pop. I looked at it since I've gotten some Star Wars figures recently, and I said, you know what? These would kind of go great. Great little conversation piece. I've watched the show off and on. I'm not a huge major fan of it, but, having seen bits and episodes here or there, kind of funny, with Ed O'Neill and, with the rest of the cast as well. So just kind of a funny show. I mean, probably tame by today's standards. I know it was much more controversial back in the day when it came out, but the figures look so good. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to keep them in the box or have them interact with some of the Star Wars figures for future posts for Off the Beatle Path. So beware of that, folks. That will be coming. That definitely will be coming. Just some further shout outs again. John and Colleen, really great to meet you folks. Like I said, friends of Pete for a long time. Peter from the Beatlemania, he played George in the original Beatlemania. Some good conversation as well. I hope to get folks on the channel. Please feel free to look around the channel. I'd love to have you on as guests and things like that. As well, but it was really just a fun time. But again, just the major thing, as we all know, was the Karen Fukuhara autograph. No, kidding, of course. Well, not really, but no, the major thing was the Pete Best autograph. Like I said, how often will I get that chance? It was just so great. It was, gracious. I was fumbling through my money a little bit, so you kind of do get that little starstruck moment. I've had some con experience before, so I've been able to kind of meet celebrities. I've been able to calm down a little bit, which is good, but you still kind of get that moment where you're fumbling, you're going, oh my God, I'm trying to think of other folks too. Like I said, Derek, good to meet you out there. I know you have a lot of, connections and stuff with Paul and Ringo and Apple Corps and all that type of thing. But of course, obviously, trying to respect people's privacy too. It's a little bit tough because, on the one hand, I want to have those fanboy moments like, oh my God, I gave the card to some people, obviously, but, there's kind of a fine line where I don't want to come off as too eager because I am interested in the person's stories. It's not just, yes, part of it, okay, a celebrity. Wonderful, great, fantastic. But also their own personal stories, and they probably get people coming up to them all the time going, well, this, or pass this project on to this person. I know that 99% of the time that's not going to happen. I was tempted to give my card to Pete Best, but Joe, I know you said there was, I believe, like a little bit of a, not so much an issue, but kind of a little bit of a, he didn't really want to endorse any channels. And I kind of get that. I don't want to just, I was almost tempted, but, a part of me was just so caught up in the moment. I'm like, nah, I don't want to ruin the moment. I did get some footage. I don't know if I'll be able to put it onto here. I didn't catch it on these cameras, which is what I use for my editing and my videos and my pictures for the most part. I did get some mobile footage, there was one nice moment where there was this band coming around. It's like a brass band, but some electric guitars, people singing. So one of the voiceover actors, Vic Montana, I think I'm mispronouncing the name, Monaga. Anyways, he's with Star Trek Continues, so he was at the next table over. They were previously doing the Star Wars Cantina theme, they did the Star Trek theme. They come over to Pete Best's table and they start doing the song Kansas City, Gonna Get My Baby Back Home. An old standard from the late 50s, early 60s that the Beatles covered in their Hamburg days, and of course that they would do on one of their albums later, I think Beatles for Sale, with Ringo. But of course, Pete got to drum on with them. So they did that. It was just nice. I got some footage of kind of Pete looking back, kind of clapping along, kind of nodding, like in approval, and just back and forth, the camaraderie and the mutual respect. And they were doing that for, different guests, kind of playing a theme that was associated with that guest or something they had done or something along those lines. And again, just the con itself, it was nice to be at a smaller convention. It gives you time to breathe. As much as I can enjoy the larger conventions, certainly you might have more, I don't mean this as an insult, of course, but more A-list star power with different conventions. New York Comic-Con, you're going to get the top, mostly A-list actors. San Diego Comic-Con, which is the big boss level for you video game nerds out there, that's the big original Comic-Con. That's where you're going to get the LA people, the George Clooney's, etc. The A-list celebrities are going to do either mostly San Diego or New York. Some might make it to Rhode Island. Rhode Island's a pretty big show in and of its own right. So they try to pull a few A-listers as well, so kind of a bit more. Here, again, I wouldn't say A-listers. Pete is an A-lister in my book just, for the fact that, yeah, he's part of the Beatles story. Again, for most folks out there, there wasn't long lines. It wasn't long lines waiting for an autograph as opposed to a hotter celebrity, maybe a more well-known celebrity. But it was just wonderful. It was just wonderful to meet him, to shake his hand, to tell him that. So again, that's it. Getting back to more, regular videos, of course, during the coming weeks. I do have an early Beatles book that I'm thinking of actually tying in, maybe perhaps the next episode or a couple episodes down the line. A really good book of how they became the Beatles in my collection. So that's really it. Again, thank you all for the current subscribers for following me. The new subscribers I've picked up, hey, I'm happy you're on board. Look around the channel. Enjoy the content. I can't wait for the next convention. I might be doing Rhode Island Comic Con in November. I might try to do some live streaming from there. I believe November 5th is the date that I'm going. Just trying to firm up things for that. And of course, Fest for Beatles fans next year. So that's it. Thank you all, and again, just make sure to give a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch everybody in the next video. Bye.